putting too much into it. Yeah. Let's get this fire started. Sports became a passion. Convo bring it to life, highlighting all the action. Opinions could explode like a chemical reaction. If we started from the bottom, now rise up the newest caption. Man, it's known that every team and every person got an nemesis. But this that similarity that smokes all of our differences. Statements can get real, better back it up with evidence. Prove it for the record, watch this hour of deliverance. Haters outside the lines, but we do it quite frankly. Cause I'm around the horn, so just part the interruption. Cause the hatred they be spreading is an unwanted production. I wouldn't be right if I didn't start the show by shouting out my brother right here. So for a minute, I need y'all just for 1 minute to vibe with me, all right? For 1 minute. I know y'all can see the screen. I need y'all to send some prayers out for my brother, man. My brother Ronald Enix. All right. Yeah, I know he's a co-host on the show. For those who don't know, Ron just turned 47. And on the same day was hospitalized for a stroke. So Bills Mafia, you know Ron Enix loves John, we love him. So I'm gonna take this minute out. I don't care. And I'm gonna salute him with this real quick. Y'all like and share the show. We're gonna get on with the show shortly, but this is for you, Ron Enix, man. Love you to death, man. Put some lights I heard to the air right now. One more time. One more time, bro. Bills Mafia, stand up. We praying for you, Ron. I told myself I wasn't going to get emotional, but I'm about to. It's for you, bro. Tune in, don't worry, we got a whole lot for you guys. Enix and his family. One of the coolest guys I know. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. Thank you for tuning in. My co-host should be here any second. How's everybody doing this morning? Again, pray for my brother. Man, we love him to death. Man. He is such a beacon of positivity, supports everybody, and I mean everybody. The guy is great, phenomenal. We're gonna get through this together, collectively. Collectively, we're gonna get through this. My co-host Muki Hawkins will be here shortly. Anybody who knows, man, my Enix. All right, send nothing but positivity out to his family. You getting updates? We'll keep you updated on what's going on with him. All right, like and share the show. By the way, come on. I gotta pull through it by damn self right now. I'm trying to. I swear to God, I am. Shout out to the On Point Network. First and foremost, shout out to Rising Family. Shout out to Rise Up Family. Shout out to y'all. Thank you for always supporting. Shout out to the On Point Network. Shout out to Bills Mafia. Everybody who tunes in, who supports us. Tune in. Man, this show is going to be a scorcher. I promise you. It's going to be a scorcher. So get ready, buckle your seats. Tell your friends, mamas, friends, uncles, brothers, sisters, cousins. We got a great show for you coming up. All right. Muki Hawkins should be here any second. All right. So we'll start off the show with a Q&A real quick. Phone line is open 716-243-5669. Q&A segment. Any question you want to ask me real quick to start off the show concerning your Bills Mafia, come on, let's get it. Put it in the comment section or call me right here. I'm ready to take all questions, any questions, as far as it concerns the Bills Mafia and anything y'all want to ask. Let's get interactive. Let's have some fun. Let's do it. Let's get it. I will say this. I do have a interesting question and point. Muki Hawkins brought up something that was real interesting over this week. If you have not seen it, you will hear it shortly. I'm just waiting on him to come in here because I don't think it's right to do it without him. But Muki Hawkins brought up the fact of the offense being able to be better, and I didn't say elite. I said better. How would Brian Dabble and them be able to do that? Put it in the comment section. Let me know how you think they're going to do that with everything that has occurred in the last couple seasons. Tom, you said, how far do you think the Bills are going to go this year? To be honest with you, I think the Buffalo Bills need to go to at least the divisional round, or it's a bust for me. It's divisional round or bust. Ramona died. Thank you very much. By the way, I got some Bills hats for Ronald Enix right here. I got some Bills hats for him. Thank you again, Ramona died, for donating those hats. Appreciate you greatly. Yeah, it's divisional or bust. You gotta elevate from what you did last year. Last year, in fact, just to draw up a very quick synopsis of what could have happened last year. The Buffalo Bills was probably one or two plays away from the divisional last year. If you want to be honest, there were one or two plays. And shout out to my host right here, my co-host Muki Hawkins is in the house. You had to call. There it is. The best part of waking up.
Shout out to you. Definitely. Listen. They were 1 or 2 plays away from meeting Kansas City last year. And I'm gonna be honest, you just never know with Buffalo Bills defense. The Buffalo Bills, man, made the AFC Championship last year against Tennessee. And then you could have seen Buffalo beat them for maybe the 3rd time in a row because Buffalo's beaten Tennessee a couple times in a row already. And you might have seen the Bills go to the Super Bowl. It might have happened. It could have happened that way. I mean, we talk about hypotheticals, shoulda, coulda, wouldas, but nevertheless, don't worry. This year they gotta bring it up 1 step higher than they did last year. So it's divisional for me or bust. All right, definitely. I don't care what the schedule say. We'll talk about that later. But my co-host Muki Hawkins, you know who he is, man. Power 96. Let me put emphasis right now on this guy. My brother, mentor, someone who has helped the community greatly. Power 96.5, 1080 AM, Sports Q TV, Buffalo Bills reporter. Okay, let me say it again clearly. Buffalo Bills reporter. All right, that's what we do, right?
That's what we do.
That's what we do, right?
That's what we do.
Buffalo Bills reporter Muki Hawkins. All right, that's who's in the building, and I want folks who haven't put some. Oh, you know what? Let's get to it. I gotta get to it. I'm not gonna. Let's get to it. Y'all ready for this? Let's get to it. Whoa there. Whoa Deli. Muki. I think that's it. Start the show.
Game for clown,
huh? Folks, you see it. Like and share the show. Check the source on Captain Checkdown. And yes, I put Kevin Patrick's face on this and his nice Twitter. So if y'all want to say something, you can hit him on Twitter. By the way, earlier this week, there was a nice little interview. Nice interview, by the way, in which I'm going to read it. Why not? Might as well read it, right? So, Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen has no plans to discard his gunslinger mentality. I'm not going to be Captain Checkdown, Allen said Thursday via ESPN's Marcel Louis Jacques. Okay. I'm going to continue to play the game the way I love it. No one would mistake Allen with a checkdown king because, Pro Football Focus published a study that showed over the past 2 seasons, Allen threw 20 checkdowns on 880 attempts. His 2.3 percentage was the lowest among all qualifying quarterbacks. On 3rd down, Allen particularly refuses to give up on plays. He's thrown just 1 check down on 245 3rd down attempts, which is a 0.4 percentage. The goal for Allen is balancing his aggressive nature with smart play. It's not always bad to take a check down as opposed to forcing a pass down the field to, say, a double-covered fullback. Somebody being funny. Allen admitted that he must improve his completion percentage. To get better, the 3rd-year pro has been watching tape of Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers this offseason. Late in games, they're not trying to force things, Allen said via NFL Network's Kimberly Jones, noting he'd been too eager to make a play when he should let things come to him. The addition of Stephon Diggs rounds out Allen's receiver core with a trio coupled with John Brown and Cole Beasley that can get separation off the line of scrimmage. The wide receivers, the wideouts, should make life easier on Allen. It shouldn't become a Charlie checkdown. He shouldn't have to become Charlie checkdown, but he must make the right reads to his weapons in space. Let them do the work for him this year. By the way, our very own, let me say that one more time. Our very own, right here, Buffalo's very own, my brother, Sports Cube 1080, Rise Up Families, phenomenal bro and helpmate Muki Hawkins. Okay, from Power 96.5 in 80 AM is the
rising
reason.
up this morning. We rising up this morning. You know,
Is the reason this Captain Checkdown story even exists. Especially when he's really the person who asked Josh Allen the question.
You got the clip.
Josh, how's it going, man? Muki Hawkins, Waffle Sports 1080, man. How you and the family? Everybody good?
How you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. I'm hanging in there, man. I'm just quarantining, man. But last year, we had this conversation on, you said last year we're going to win a lot of games. And you held up to that. You know, we won a lot of games. And, you know, so what are some of the things that you need to prove on to, you know, make yourself a better quarterback for this team? And what will make the Bills a top 10 offense this year?
Well, top 10 offense, I think, you know, we got to score more points. You know, if we can score 24, 25, keep that as our average, and knowing that our defense is going to take care of business, like they have been the last couple of years, limiting the turnovers, not letting teams come back, and because I forced a turnover, not letting them get the ball in our ability, giving them points. You know,
That's that turnover.
Playing complementary football, and you know, I've got personal goals set out for myself, and I keep seeing a stat, you know, when I completed over 60% of passes, we haven't lost.
I guess that was for Marcus' stat. That was Marcus' stat, right?
But again, I'm not going to try to force things, and I'm not going to be Captain Checkdown either. I'm going to continue to try to play the game.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Let the church stay in, man. Wait a minute. Did y'all hear that? Y'all heard that? Hold on. Let me say it again for y'all.
But again, I'm not going to try to force things, and I'm not going to be Captain Checkdown either. I'm going to continue to try to play the game the way that I love it, that I have fun with, but ultimately the way that this team needs me to play it, and that's to win the game. Whatever case it may be, if it's trying to run for an extra 3 yards to get a first down in a needed situation, or if it's to throw for, you know, 50 times a game and try to get to our playmakers. That's all I really want is win football games. So whatever is called upon me in that situation is what I'm going to try to execute.
Appreciate it, man.
Oh, no. We done. Hold on. I want y'all to hear this last part.
You and the family stay safe.
I want y'all to hear this.
Hey, Josh, Mike Chiardi from NFL Network. Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. Good to see you.
Good to see you, too. Hey, a couple questions for you. One, what video games are you playing with Dave? Together, or are you playing some other game? And
No,
then,
playing Call of Duty.
I'm going to stop it right there. Stop right there. First and foremost, Muki, what is your synopsis on this? I thought didn't we just read an article saying that this was Marcel Louis Jacquees and Kimberly Jones? What's up with this?
Yeah.
This
Crew media world, and you know, hey, I'm still learning as I go along as well. But harsh reality. Once we all in the Zoom room, you know, we're all in the Zoom room. So whatever is in the Zoom room, everybody has privy information to. You know, they put they tweak the quotes, but they don't tweak who asked the question. So, you know, you got people that's, you know, have sent us off from the NFL and all these other higher up, you know, media outlets just sitting at their desk, just intercepting tweets and making stories off of them, you know, and they didn't properly give the right person credit for that. You know, I guess that's how the media works. You know what I mean? I had a good opportunity to speak to Jim Trotter. And if people don't know who Jim Trotter is, he's one of the senior writers. He was the president of the PFWA. And you know, he votes for the Hall of Fame, you know, and he's African-American descent. So, you know, we chopped it up, you know, briefly yesterday about the situation. He made me feel a little bit more at ease about it. And, you know, it's unfortunately it's a dirty game. And, That's just how that works. But yeah, in the media world, that's how it goes. They don't get the story firsthand. I don't have no problem with Mark from out of ESPN. He's a good colleague of mine. But NFL.com, they definitely got that wrong. When you want to put via stuff out, make sure they consider the source and put the rightful person there. That's all I got to say about that. I mean, if you're going to take the quote, put the person who asked that question there. That's all I got to say about that. And NFL Network, stop lunching, sitting around, eating sandwiches and donuts or whatever y'all doing, just intercepting tweets. You know what I mean? And that's just with that. You get the juicy stuff. He ain't gonna be Captain Checkdown either. Now I don't know if you would have got that from Josh. Anybody else probably would have got that out of Josh. Me and Josh. We chop it up. We talk like that. We call that dog talk. All right. When we talking dog talk. All right. And that's what dogs do when they talk to each other. I barked, he barked back. And he said, "Hey, I ain't gonna be Captain Checkdown either. All right. I know what I'm doing out here. I know what mistakes I've made. I know what I got to do to correct them, but I'm not going to be Captain Checkdown when doing them. I'm still going to play my game. That's what they drafted him to do. And, hey, it's always been some growing pains, and some learning moments. And, he's doing that right now. He's going into his third year. That everything is in place. Everything is looking good right now. Everybody is right on schedule right now for this division takeover. So, I'm cool. And we ain't got to worry about Captain Checkdown because Captain Checkdown, who was that? Trent Edwards? He was the real Captain Checkdown.
Good. You know what? Good response. And I tell you right now, for those who are not paying attention, this is what you call a class act right here. This is class. Because I'm going to be honest, if it was me, I'd be pissed. And in fact, I'm so pissed for you that I got a couple questions for you.
Sure.
Number one, do you see something that needs to change in media, obviously? I mean, we just heard, and let me get some premise. We just heard Muki Hawkins give a question, a legitimate question to Josh Allen. And then we heard somebody turn around from NFL Network and ask him about video games. Video games!
Hey, Andre, what's your favorite game? What's your favorite video game you and the kids playing?
But yet, Kimberly Jones from NFL, was she even there?
No. No.
Listen.
He said that quote. He said that quote, didn't he? Was that part of my quote too? Late in games, we're not trying to force things.
Yeah.
We've been too eager to make a play. Yeah, so I don't like. That's how I know. Like they're intercepting tweets. Like Kimberly Jones may have tweeted that quote, and he took it and ran because I guess that's his source that he runs to. I guess that's just how it works. And I'm just trying to figure that one out because
I'm bedazzled on how that works.
She wasn't in the room. She wasn't in the room, but she still has privy to that information. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't like a private or a one-on-one interview. You know what I mean? It was basically all of us in the room and everybody had to turn to ask their question. But
right.
Going forward,
hold on though. Privy to doesn't mean take ownership though, right?
Right. Well, the guy Kevin Patrick from NFL is putting their names on it. You know what I mean? Making them on it. I don't have no issue with Kim or Marcel. But I guess that's just how it goes. That's just how it works. You know what I mean? But I would like to hope that going forward, when we in these Zoom rooms, that hey, if y'all gonna use a quote off a question I asked, you know what I mean? Give that person that credit. You know what I mean? That's as simple as that. The same energy that you took time to type that quote, you could type a few more letters, a few more words, you know what I mean, and say
right
by Waffle Sports 1080. You know what I mean? That's all. I mean, you could have left that out. I mean, leave that out. You know what I mean? You didn't even have to say via whatever. You could have just said the quote that Josh was going to say, like, You know, I'm not going to be Captain Checkdown, and that's great. But when you start attaching names to it, you know, then you know you got to put the right person name to that. You can't, you know, give someone credit for something, you know what I mean, that they didn't produce. You know, that's all I'm saying. You know, or you could ask that question. You know what I mean? Yeah, every opportunity to ask that question to get that answer, but you know, didn't ask the question.
So I just want to be very clear so everybody knows. All right. Put some lights and hearts in the air for Muki Hawkins. You would not even have got that story had it not been for Muki
Yeah,
Hawkins.
NFL reporter wrote a whole story about Captain Checkdown.
Captain Checkdown.
Captain Checkdown.
Mm-mm-mm.
I like it though. I like it. That lets me know that hey, I'm doing something right. You know what I mean? But I'm still, you know, a little guy on a totem pole, man. You know, you know, I'm still out here. We got to try to make a name for ourselves, man. When we got these big networks, we got the ESPNs and the NFLs. You know what I mean? They hogging right now, man. They ain't trying to share or be fair right now. They hogging. So
Hurting.
yeah, I gotta, you know, I gotta step my game up.
Starving. You got to step in. Really? You got to step. You know what? I like how you take ownership in that. Even when you ain't wrong, you taking ownership in that.
Step my game
I
up.
tell you something else that needs to happen. I'm gonna put it out there. Excuse me. It's time to pay attention to media, real black media. Yes, I said black. Real black media. Yes. Other than NFL Network, other than ESPN, who starve and scratch for tweets, who don't even actually listen to the interview. Because I'm just wondering, how does that happen? How does that happen that you're a major source and you don't even listen to the interview?
I don't know,
Explain that.
I mean, maybe they was, you know, they had something else they had to do at that time. Because sometimes when you get those emails, you know, press releases and stuff on players' availability, you might be in the middle of doing something else. You know what I mean? So, I mean, Mike Girardi was in the room from the NFL, but I know Kimberly Jones, she covers the Bills for the NFL Network. You know, so 9 times out of 10, she's the beat reporter for the NFL that covers the Bills. But Mike Girardi was in the room at that point in time. And, you know, we all heard the question that he asked. But, you know, but yeah, Kim, she covers the Bills for NFL Network, and Marcel covers the Bills for ESPN. So you got the two major, you know, media outlet reporters, you know, that's what's going to happen. It's going to come from them because when you really look at it, I mean, hey, he's protecting his colleague. This is what his colleague, NFL Network and NFL, you know, Kimberly Jones. So he had to, you know, had to dress that up. I guess he had to dress that up and put her stamp on it. You know.
By the way, shout out to Terry Enix right now. Ron Enix's sister is watching. We definitely want to update if we can get one on Ron Enix's health, man. We all care. Bills Mafia, again, put some likes and hearts in the air on Facebook for him. And one more time, I just need y'all to hear this. Just in case y'all just...
How's it going, man? Muki Hawkins, Buffalo Sports 1080, man. How you and the family? Everybody good?
How you doing, man?
I'm all right, man. I'm hanging in there, man. I'm just quarantining, man. But last year, we had this conversation on... you said last year we were going to win a lot of games, and you held up to that. You know, we won a lot of games, and you know. So, what are some of the things that you need to prove on to, you know, make yourself a better quarterback for this team, and what will make the Bills a top 10 offense this year?
Well, top 10 offense, I think, you know, we got to score more points. You know, if we can score 24, 25, keep that as our average, and knowing that our defense is going to take care of business like they have been in the last couple of years, limiting the turnovers, not letting teams come back and because I forced a turnover, not letting them get the ball in our field position and giving them points, you know. And playing complementary football. And, I've got personal goals set out for myself. And I keep seeing a stat, when I complete over 60% of passes, we haven't lost. So I think that's the goal is every game to have at least 60% completion percentage. And but again, I'm not going to try to force things, and I'm not going to be Captain Checkdown either. I'm going to continue to try to play the game the way that I love it, that I have fun with down either. I'm going to continue the percentage, and but again, I'm not going to try to force things, and I'm not going to be Captain Checkdown either.
Now, you heard it clear, all right? So make no mistake no more that this comes from our very own Muki Hawkins, all right? Put some respect on my bro's name, all right? I'm plain and simple putting it out there. Put some respect on my brother's name. Or I have no problem going to your tweets. I'd have no problem going on Twitter or whatever base that you run from. I'm saying something about it, okay? No problem. None. All right. Mook, man, we appreciate you for that, by the way. Real professionalism. Real professionalism. Now, Terry Enix is in the house again. Shout out to you. We got some questions for you, Mook. Sharon Mullen asks, how long have you been in the industry?
I've been really in 2010. I've been, just a grind for 2010. But I've been covering the Bills for the past year. So it's different levels of it. What I was doing, just getting out here with the camera and filming and doing interviews with local talent and stuff like that. And, just was blessed with the opportunity, and here I am. The thing about it is with covering the Bills, I've been pretty much dealing with them, for over 20 years. All the players, I used to live with one back in the days for 3 years, so I have a great rapport with, the Bills players from beyond. I'm talking from Super Bowl squad all the way to now's team. So I've just been blessed and fortunate to be in some good situations and take advantage of some opportunities that came my way. So yeah, I've been a Bills beat reporter for a year now. Well, not even a year. It's not even a whole year yet. But yeah, it's been kind of interesting and very very exciting. Very exciting experience.
Definitely, to say the least.
And wherever you went to get combine, should have been in the draft this year, but the pandemic messed that up. But yeah,
absolutely.
Not about a year. But,
By the way, this is one of the guys right here who made it possible for me to be able to cover the Bills. Muki Hawkins, Pat Freeman, these two guys, phenomenal guys, have made it possible for yours truly to even be involved, and gave me a whole lot of insight and positivity and motivation. So put some lights of hearts in the air for him again. Without Muki Hawkins, you may not get the same motivation that you see from Rise Up Family Zone right here hosting the show. So Muki has done a lot for us. Let's get to these comments. Muki, man, they blowing up the comments right now. Russell Hamilton said, "Will there even be a season?"
Yeah, there'll be a season. It's a season. End of July, that's when basically training camp's going to start. They're pretty much deaded. Mini camp this week coming up is going to be the last. It's going to be the last week of virtual meetings. Then basically they get that time off to themselves, and then they got to report naturally. So when you look at it right now, they'd be in OTAs, mini camps, and stuff like that if it wasn't for the pandemic. So this is the last week. So they're kind of doing things that they would do. This will be the last week. So that would take them up to June June 20th. You exit camp, and then they got roughly like 3 weeks, and then they have to report. So everything can get back to normal. They just got allowed back into the facilities. Over 100 people could be in the facility as of Friday. So on Monday, the coaches and all the front office people, administration would be back at One Bills Drive, just catching up on things and getting acclimated back to their own office. You know what I mean? And a lot of guys, basically made their living rooms their office, as you can see where I'm sitting around right now. But so they get back to some normalcy with it, come the end of July. But it will be a season right now.
All right. Ricky Williams said, J.A., I need you to play like you did in your rookie year. I will agree as far as the deep ball is concerned, but from year 1 to year 2, we know Josh Allen threw for over 1,000 yards more. He doubled his touchdowns from 10 to 20. He went from 12 interceptions to 9 in his second year. So I give you props on the deep ball. Yeah, he definitely needs to get that deep ball back like he had in the first season. But year 2 was a better season than year 1. Ethan said the Buffalo Bills win in the division. They should be. Ramona said journalistic plagiarism. Put a halt on journalistic plagiarism.
Right.
Facts. Definitely facts. Ethan Tweeter also asked, will Duke Williams make the roster?
My man Duke. I think Duke makes the roster. I really do. I think Duke makes the roster. I mean, he's under contract for 1 more year. I just don't think that the Bills get rid of a guy. I mean, shit, he had 10 targets. Excuse my French. He had 10 targets the last, the game against Houston. He played against the Jets. The Bills kind of had him on the shelf for like 6 weeks. 6'4", 225, 230. We need size like that. We need that type of size. I know the Bills drafted Isaiah Hodgkins and Gabriel Davis, but the thing about Duke is he has a year underneath his belt, ahead of those guys. He has some things that he has to learn as well. And, he's still practice squad eligible. So I think Duke makes a squad.
Awesome. All right. Sharon Mallet says, Mr. Hawkins, what advice would you give writers who want to break into the sports media industry?
Advice what I would give writers. Just keep writing, man. You're a writer. And you trying to make it to that level or to that realm. Just keep writing, putting out good content. Don't be afraid to think outside of the box or write the stories that that people are scared to write. Just keep writing and don't be afraid to speak your mind when you write. Speak your mind when you write. Speak your mind when you write and, put out the juicy stuff, man. As you can see, they like the juicy stuff. Captain Checkdown, thing went viral. So, they like the juicy stuff. And don't be afraid when you do get opportunities to speak with these guys, to ask the tough questions. You know what I mean? Or just ask the questions that the people, not asking them. The simplest football question that people are afraid to ask. So, if you're a writer, just keep writing. You know what I mean? Just don't be afraid to write the stuff that people are afraid to write. Speak your mind when you write, and it should be fine.
Thomas said, I'm an Eagles fan, but if the Eagles and Bills went to the Super Bowl, who would win? Come on, man. Thomas. Thomas.
Fly, Eagles, fly. Fly, Eagles, fly. But that was a couple of years ago.
Right.
They all the Bills players are gone off Philly. That's why they won. That's why Philly won. They won with all the Bills players. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. You still got Schwartz there. You got rid of Nigel. So, I don't think no more. With Darby, no, Darby's not even on the team no more. Yeah, I got rid of all the Bills players, Philly. It's over. It's over, Philly.
All right. Ramona said Bills. Hey, Gary, what's up? Shout out to you as well. Gary died. That's Ramona Dye's son. Shout out to you. All right. We got more to get into. This is about to get real juicy. I'm sure that woke everybody up. Definitely. It should have. All right. Give credit where credit is due. We ain't playing with you. And I say you specifically, NFL Network, ESPN, whoever. We ain't playing. Give respect where respect is due. For real. Honestly. Because there's people who deserve the opportunities out here that, yeah.
Shout out to my guy, first and foremost. Shout out to and happy birthday to the Super Bowl champ, my guy, Sammy Watkins. His birthday today. You know what I mean?
Speaking of birthdays, Mook, you heard him, Sammy Watkins' birthday today, but we also had a belated birthday, I-95, Kylw Williams' birthday just took place this week. So my question is to you guys, where do you rank I-95 on the all-time list? Bills list, that is. Mookie, where do you put I-95?
As an all-time Bill?
Yeah.
No, man, that's kind of like a stretch, man. That's kind of like a stretch. I mean,
Well, stretch the answer.
I would say, I'll say top 20. I'll say top 20. I mean, he played his entire career here in Buffalo. You know what I mean? So that holds some value to me. You know what I mean? He never went nowhere. We drafted the guy. I mean, he did have opportunities to leave, but he felt that Buffalo was his home. We wish, he could have stayed one more year and enjoyed his playoff ride with us last year. But, he ended up retiring. So I got to put Big Kyle in top 20. Put him in the top 20.
All right. Put your comments in the comment section right now. Or you can call us 716-243-5669. Where do you put? Yeah. Where do you put I-95 on the all-time Bills list? We need to know. By the way, shout out to Dominic Brown, my guy from right here in Buffalo, New York, for that music, man. Phenomenal guy. I want to shout you out. Making Bills Mafia anthems left and right. Shout out to you, definitely. I will say Kylw Williams. This is tough.
Had that motor.
When I look at defensive tackles, man, for the Buffalo Bills, you had some pretty good defensive tackles. For the most part. I'm going to say he is a top 6 defensive tackle in history for the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to say top
6. Like, you must have really put some thought to that to say 6.
Yes, I'm really
top 5 was the top 10. The top.
I'm really putting some thought into this. Top 6 overall. I would agree with you. I'm gonna stay in the top 20, top 25. I mean, in 2011, Ramona said he was the 3rd best player in the NFL in 2011.
2011, yeah. 20. He was up there. That was his first Pro Bowl year, right?
Yes, first Pro Bowl year.
His first Pro Bowl year. Yeah, I mean, hey. Yeah, he definitely made a name for himself that year. Went out and played, and to the point where people didn't think that he was going to play like that. But just strong as an ox, man. I mean, real just strong. When you look at his body type, I mean, he's not your typical defensive tackle. I mean, he's only 6'1", 6'2" at best. But low man wins. When you're in the trenches, low man wins, and he already loaded the ground. And he's just strong like an ox, man. He had one of the best bull rushes I've ever seen. You know what I mean? So, with him, Marcel, Jerry, and Mario, probably one of the best fronts in Buffalo Bills history. I mean, you look at that, all 4 guys had double-digit sacks that year. So, and that all fed off of Kyle because basically when you got Marcel Darius is taking up that double team, it's hard to block Kylw Williams one-on-one. So it gave him the opportunity to play one-on-one in a 3-tech. And, we already know what's coming off that edge with Jerry and Mario.
You already know. I already know.
Hopefully we can get back to that. We can get back to that this year.
Kenneth McGregor. I need you to call in. Go ahead. 716-243-5669. He said number 6 is too high among the greats and Hall of Famers. Well, let me make sure I'm specific. I said top 6 defensive tackle, not top six of all time. Just top 6 defensive tackle in Bills history. When you look at body of work, again, when you look at the guys through tech, phenomenal. I mean, you can't block Kyle one-on-one. You couldn't a lot of the time. You couldn't. I mean, Marcel, beast. Definitely beasted. Jerry, off the edge, beasted. You know who else was nice? Even later on, Lorenzo Alexander. Phenomenal pass rusher. Like, Kylw Williams made a lot of that happen. A lot of that happen. We hope Harrison Phillips can give you the same production, but I don't know. We're gonna see.
We got a lot of D tackles. We got a stack D tackle room. We got a stack D tackle room. So I don't know. Somebody might not make it in that sauce. I don't know.
Ooh. You think Harrison Phillips might be it? Is this gonna be a new high tech? Is it Harrison?
Nah, Harry makes the team. He definitely makes. He's under contract. The Bills are not gonna get rid of people. I mean, Harry's under contract right now, so he's fine. He's good. You ain't gotta worry about getting cut. I mean, he's coming off injury, but he's not definitely not on a bubble. You know, he's definitely not in Trent Murphy's shoes right now. So you don't have to worry about that. I mean, when you look at Coach McDermott and what he do, they covet a lot of D tackles. I mean, one year in Carolina, they drafted a D tackle 2-3 years in a row. You know that we have right now. Starla Tulate and Vernon Butler. Starla toilet paper. But I gave him back. I gave it back. You know, season is over with, and he was balling down the end. So you know he I had to take that. I had to take
toilet paper off.
I had to take the toilet paper off from him, man. He was balling. So
it's coronavirus season. He might want to keep the toilet paper.
Yeah, he might gonna need that toilet paper. You know what I mean? He might need it, but we don't need it on the field with him. Yeah, that's for damn sure. We don't need it on the field.
Absolutely. Let me get to these. Let me get to some more of these comments. Mook, it is hilarious. So Kenneth said, "All right, I agree on D tackle. My bad. Getting ready for the golf course, or I would." Kenneth, I want to thank you for supporting and watching the show. By the way, tell 45 I said what's up.
My boy KMC. KMC, what's good? He got me up in the morning.
All right. Make sure you tell 45 we said what's up while you on the golf course. Okay. Sharon Mullins said, Mr. Hawkins, I guess OJ Simpson is still the greatest Bills rusher of all time. How would you rate the Bills running game this season? Oh, speaking of which, Sharon, I'm so glad that you just did that. Thank you very much. This is why I love support. Watch this. Oh, just so happened we about to talk about the running game. Thunder and lightning.
Lightning. To answer that question, Thurman Thomas is the Bills' all-time leading rusher. So the juice is number 2. We appreciate the juice. We love the juice. I live down the street from where the juice used to run around up here with the electric company. But Thurman Thomas is the greatest Bill player of all time. Anybody want to debate that with me? We can debate that. Thurman Thomas is the greatest, is the number 1 Bills player of all time. Period. Bar none. Period. I'm sorry. That's how I feel.
Well, all right, absolutely. Now, I'm sure y'all can hear the music. Thunder. Feel the thunder. Y'all gonna feel the thunder and lightning this year as we got Devin Singletary and Zach Moss. Thunder and lightning. My question to you is, running back duels have become a very important part of the game. Running by committee. That's what we call it. Runners by committee, right? Yep. Where do you think these two are gonna rank this year in runners by committee? Duel.
I mean, we know Zach Moss. He comes in and he take over the role for Frank Gore. Now, no disrespect to the future Hall of Fame running back, but this is at this point in time an upgrade. for Frank Gore. A great upgrade. We get a younger Frank Gore, basically, if you will, when you look at a guy like Zach Moss. He's tough in the trenches from tackle to tackle. He's just like, it's like a little cannonball in there, just bouncing off of defenders. And, he has real sneaky speed. He has real deceptive speed to get away from defenders if you look at it on film. It's not going to jump off the charts with glaring speed. I mean, Devin Singletary, he didn't come out with glaring speed, but hey, look at it. He was number 2 in yards per carry last year, but he needs to have the ball a little bit more in his hands, and I think they got to take the training wheels off of Singletary. I felt that in the Houston game, he was ready. He was ready to to shoulder the workload, and we didn't lay it on him, and that was one of the factors on why we didn't win that game. Because you didn't put the ball in your playmakers' hands at the given time of the game. You gotta let dog be a dog. At some point in the game, you gotta let your dogs be a dog. We didn't let Devin Singletary be that dog for us in the clutch late in the game when he was ready for it. You know what I mean? He was ready for it, but we just didn't pull the trigger on it, and we put the ball in Josh's hands, and and we fell a little short on some things. A wrong call by the refs, a few bad calls by the offense, and we was just in a situation that we couldn't get out of. And those guys have learned from that. My conversation with Josh let me know that hey, he did the same thing that we did. Sat down and he watched that game, and I'm quite sure that he was disgusted of the outcome and how he I'm quite sure he knew he could have handled that game a much more better way than he did. But those are the experiences of being inexperienced. So with that experience, he should learn from that next year.
Absolutely. I totally agree. By the way, we're gonna get into a segue from what Muki just said as far as taking the training wheels off.
Gotta take the training wheels off, man. We gotta run the ball, man. We gotta run the ball. There's no way in hell that your running back is second in the league and 5 yards a crack, and we now running the ball. And then we go and get Zach Moss, who Frank Gore couldn't get a yard. Like when you really look at the stats and something like that, Frank Gore couldn't get a yard. That's mind-boggling to me. That we had Frank Gore here, and he couldn't get 1 yard. That's all he was brought in really to do. Short yard situations. So, we got a younger guy in Zach Moss that's going to help keep those sticks moving to go along with Devin Singletary. And, I think we're going to have a nice little tandem there. I think between the two, I'm going to say, I'll say Devin definitely goes for 1,000 this year. Devin Singletary will have a 1,000-yard season. And I think Zach is going to be up there, shoulder that load. I say Zach in his rookie year had anywhere between 500 to 700 yards on the ground. And then what Josh brings to the table. So as a whole, as a total, we could potentially damage on the ground. Especially with all the weapons. See, with all the weapons that we got, man, I just need to see what Dable's going to do with all these toys. What is he going to do with all of these toys? I know what I would do with all these toys, but we should have Josh should throw for 4,000, and our run game should be definitely one of the top in the NFL. I'm just gonna say that our run game should be one of the league's best. I mean, it was sneaky last year. I think we finished. Did we finish top 10 total yards rushing?
Absolutely, we did.
Yeah, we finished top 10, and we finished top 10. And we didn't have a 1,000-yard rush. That don't even make any sense. How we finished top 10 as a whole, and we don't have a 1,000-yard rusher. So this year coming up, Devin Singletary should rush over 1,000 yards. Josh gonna do him in the run game, and then Zach's gonna bring more to the table than what Frank produced for us last year. So I'm really excited to see just the creativity on our run game this year, and we got to get Devin Singletary involved in the passing game too. I mean, the man can catch. We got to utilize him more than what we did. We got to. We just got to. The training wheels must come off. I understand that they was cautious that he did pull a hamstring early in the season and didn't want him to aggravate that. But man, the man is fully healed and ready to roll right now, and we got to make sure we put the ball in his hands. You know what I mean? On 1st and 10, I don't run the football. I don't want to see us coming out throwing the ball 5, 6 straight times. You know, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. I definitely don't. The run game sets up the pass, but we got weapons all around the table. So that's why I'm asking Josh, how is this offense can be a top 10 offense? You know, we got to score points. We got to be able to run the ball. We got to be able to run the ball to keep our defense off the field, to keep the sticks going. You know, so again, the team goes how Brian Dable was going to punch this thing up. And he has all the weapons to do that. It is no excuse on why the Bills should not be a top 10 offense. It is no excuse that Josh Allen should throw for 4,000 yards and have over a 60% completion percentage. There is no excuse for Devin Singletary not to run for over 1,000 yards. Now, when you got all of that going offensively for you, those are definitely some recipes on having a top 10 offense. And if we got a top 10 offense, we know that defense last year was top 5. So as long as the offense come and join the party,
Top 2.
hopefully we should be partying in Tampa. You know, if the offense come and join the party this year, we should be partying in Tampa right now. Well, I say right now, but you know, come February, we should be partying in Tampa.
So here's something that's definitely going to benefit the Buffalo Bills, especially as we talking about second year, third year players. The Buffalo Bills have a whole lot of continuity. In fact, the Buffalo Bills ranked number 1 in continuity.
Right, according to my guy Marcel. You know, this is his story. So you know, we give credit. I give it up. We got to give it up. You know what I mean? Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. Now, Marcel asked a great question to Josh Allen. He went straight off the rip. He was the first guy to ask a question, and he got right into Josh about social injustice and how he felt about that. You know, that should have been, you know, a more of a topic as well, because, you know, Josh did have that, you know, that the reports in the draft about the comments that was surrounding him when he was coming out in the draft. So, you know, it was a great question that he asked Josh, and Josh answered that question. And, you know, that should have been a major tabloid. But at the end of the day, you know, man, shouts out to him. You know, he put together this good one right here on continuity because, hey, Bills are pretty much, we didn't need a starter at all, you know, in the draft. We didn't need a starter. All our starters is back. So the continuity is definitely there. We have all our tackles. Our offensive line is back from tackle to tackle. All right. So there's the continuity that you need. All right. That's the continuity that you need. The game is one up front. So we have our starting 5 is back with our quarterback. All right, so terminology and all that stuff is still clicking on the same thing. Nothing's changed. We ain't gotta pick nobody up to speed there. You know, even on the defensive side, when you look at the defensive line, everybody is back now. Yeah, we're gonna miss Jordan. We miss Jordan Phillips. We miss you in spirit. Are we gonna miss Shaq Lawson? We miss you in spirit. Are we gonna miss Lorenzo Alexander? Hell yeah, we're gonna miss Lorenzo Alexander because he was like a Swiss Army knife. He did everything. All right, so that's a guy we're really going to miss out there on the field, is Lorenzo Alexander. We are not going to miss Shaq Lawson out there on the field. We are not going to miss Jordan Phillips on the field. Great players. Yeah, you know, they brought a lot to the table. You know, they thrived in the scheme and priced themselves out. So, you know, right now they're in Arizona and Miami respectively with that back. I get that. But, you know, as far as continuity, hey, we still got Jerry Hughes that's there. Right now we still have Trent Murphy there, but you know he's on eggshells. Oliver comes back. Harrison Phillips is back off of IR. We have majority of our linebacking core. Our back end hasn't gone nowhere, and we added Josh Norman. So the continuity and all the core pieces are there, as you can see in that report brought to you by our guy Marcel. So yeah, definitely the continuity. I mean, the pandemic sets everybody back, but it really don't set us back to the point where we're picking up the pieces. You know, we have majority of our team back. We didn't draft for a starter. You know, we got Espinoza. We got starters. We got guys that can come in and start for us right now. But we didn't those spots are filled basically. I mean, so the continuity is most definitely there, and I think that's going to win some ball games as well for us. Just being together, that cohesive bond. And then when you look at they had 20 guys in Miami. That's half the team right now. It's a 53-man roster, 56, 58 with the new collective bargaining agreement. But to have 20 players on the offense down in Miami, and they working and trying to and going over what they've been going over in those virtual meeting rooms, emulating what's being laid down in those virtual meeting rooms, and to go out there and link up in Miami and work on those things. That's let you know. And no NFL team has done that thus far. So that's letting you know that those guys are in contact with each other. They're constantly talking and building and wanting to get better and learning each other. And that was a great article about that continuity, because that continuity is going to help us win some ball games, especially in the beginning of the season. That continuity is going to help us against the Jets. That continuity is going to help us against Miami, which are division opponents right away. So it's good to have that continuity going into the season, especially with the pandemic.
All right. Let me get to some comments. And yes, by the way, we're going overtime today. For Ryan, shout out to Ryan. Listen, we're going overtime.
Little OT.
Trust and believe me, it'll be all right.
It'll be all right, especially when the season get going, because we got the morning tailgate. This turned into the morning tailgate show. You know what I mean? So you don't have to worry about that. I'll probably be in a different attire. I won't be in my living room. I might be at a lot somewhere. Ain't no telling. But we gonna be live. The morning tailgate when the season starts. You know what I mean?
So I need you to real quick give a grade for the Buffalo Bills running game this year. What's the grade? A, B, C, D, E for effort, F for fail.
What do you mean? But just how it looks right now? What am I grading? Am I grading the outcome?
Absolutely. You grade the outcome. Grade it.
I'm
giving him an A. I'm giving him an A.
I'm gonna say B plus.
All right.
I'm gonna say B plus.
We close.
B plus because the potential in Singletary is there, and the jury is still out on Zach Moss. But when you look at that tape, we got another dog back there. So we got two young dogs that's ready to bark, man. So I give it a B. I don't want to jump. They have to improve. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna throw that B plus out there right now until I see them get on the field. Then I can make a little bit more accurate grade.
That's a good grade. I'm still giving them an A minus. I'll give them an A minus so they have room to improve. The reason why I say that too is because Buffalo always do good running the football. For the most part, it's just Dab will need to know exactly when to run the ball. The Buffalo Bills have been top 5, top 6, 7 in rushing every year for the last couple of years.
Prime example. We playing Baltimore, and we needed a spark. Bam, we put Singletary in the game. Man, we marched right down the field, score like it wasn't no problem. Boom, defense come out, 3 and out. We get the ball back. Don't you know they put Gore in the game? And for what? Why y'all put the fire out? You put your own fire out. They did that in Houston. Singletary, once again, we run a screen, something that we never did, that we should have been doing. We ran a screen to Singletary. Singletary almost takes it to the house.
Yeah.
And then guess who come in the game? Frank Gore.
Ain't no putting no fires out here, by the way. The fire starters in the building.
Right. Like, why is you doing that? Like, you putting your own fire. Let that boy eat, man. He got you all the way down there. Now we put Frank Gore in with 21 personnel and Pat DeMarco, and they just stacking a box. Okay, you didn't even have smoke. Like, the personnel groupings was just bad. When you really look at it, the personnel groupings last year was bad in certain situations, and we beat ourselves. You take the ball out of Singletary hand against Baltimore, and what do you have? 15, 17 carries for 87 yards?
Yeah, that's what killed me, because he could have had a hell of a game. That would have been a statement. Did he ever have 20 carries in the game last year, right? He never gave him 20 carries. So I don't understand. Like, he should be averaging 20 carries,
a game at least. And we ain't talking about touches. I'm talking about rushing attempts. He should have at least 20 rushing attempts per game. You give him 5 catches, give him 5 catches. But I want to see him run the ball 20 times. Get that man 20 times, man. You got to do that. And that killed us in the Baltimore game, and that killed us in the Houston game. And I say it all the time. The run sets up the pass. I don't care who you are. I don't care who you are. I think Kansas City do what they do on purpose so Pat Mahomes can throw the ball. They get behind on purpose so Pat could just, let that thing loose. But yeah, I definitely want to see that in the run game.
Either Twiddle said he give him a B. Chuck Thomas said he give him a C because he's concerned because of Allen, one of my concerns on this team.
C?
Yeah, he said C. I believe the Bills go all the way, said Ramona. She also said, Muki, that's what happened in Pittsburgh last year. Our defense was exhausted 3/4 into the season. Chuck Thomas said, no Brady Bills time, LOL. Ramona said, hoping that this changes this year with Big Ben back in the game. You answered Sharon's question. Sharon was like, you ain't great the run game though. But yeah, we got it. We got you. Ramona said the policy for first time alcohol related charges is 3-game suspension without pay. Chuck Thomas said, if you think about the Bills, reminds me of the early Buccaneers team. Great defense, no offense. Now they got their offense. Buccaneers went out and got Keyshawn Johnson. The Bills got Diggs. Buccaneers couldn't beat. He said couldn't beat Favre, and the Bills couldn't beat Brady. Oops. All right. Good comparison, I guess, for the most part.
That guy couldn't beat Brady. A lot of people couldn't beat Brady.
Jay said, I don't get why. Oh, they were talking about Ed Oliver in here. They're talking about Ed Oliver a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't hear anything living in Texas where they took him for 3 games is great. Jared said the one that Kevin Smith, the past running back from the Lions, taught in college. Ramona said, Andre, Jay posted a great question. What do y'all think will happen to Ed Oliver overall? He's probably going to face suspension. Probably 1-2 games. Devon Stanfield, what's up? If you don't get your tail in here, please get your tail in here. Let me pass you the code too. Lions back. I give them a B-. Just got to see what Moss does. You mean the Bills, not Lions. Said either said it's the mafia. Okay, it's the mafia. Get it right. It's the mafia around here. Capiche? Let's see. More comments, more questions. Come on, somebody call me. 716-243-5669. I'm gonna tell you what. Let's get into this real quick. This gonna give us a minute. And by the way, I said we on overtime. We are on overtime, and I'm all good with it because guess what? We doing this. This show is dedicated to Ronald Enix, by the way. So while you doing your thing, I'm glad Devon just hit me up too. Yes, still online, Devon. Overtime today.
That's
and
how we get
overtime. I need you guys right now for the next minute and 30 seconds as I get the rest of this show going. I need you to put some likes and hearts in the air. It is shout section time, all right? I keep trying to iterate this, Bills Mafia. I want you to send me a video of your favorite football moment in Bills Mafia history, or send me a moment where you played football and send it over to us so we can play it during this shout section. All right? Or you can send me a video of you playing the shout song, doing something fun, exciting. You know, we need some entertainment in this time with COVID-19. So you can inbox it to me. You know my name. You know where we at with the Rise Up Sports Network. Come on. Do that. All right. But right now, I need y'all to put some lights and hearts in the air. All right. 2 minutes as we get our show going. All right. For the second half. Let's get it.
Commercial break.
Come on now, the Bills are making it happen now. Stand up now, come on and shout. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Shout it right now, baby. Come on, come on. Come on and shout. Buffalo's happening now. We're on the move now. The Bills are happening now. They're making it happen now. Got the spirit, a lot of spirit.
Put some lights and hearts in the air right now. Let's go, let's go. Keep it coming.
Let's go, Buffalo. Let's go, Buffalo. Let's go, Buffalo. The Bills make me wanna.
Ronald Enix, this is for you, my brother.
The Bills make me wanna. Let's go, Buffalo. Let's go, Buffalo. Let's go, Buffalo. The Bills make me wanna. The Bills make me wanna.
Circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills.
Y'all know what? You know what? I want to thank y'all so very much for always supporting me. I think support is a major thing in this world. Support, support, support. I got Muki Hawkins in the building. I got Devin Stanfield on his way in here in a moment. And you know what? Something in my head just said, yo, what would Ronald Enix do? You know what Ronald Enix would do? He'd play this mother sucker again. One more time, y'all. Let's go.
Throw your hands up and throw your hands back and come on now. The Bills are making it happen now.
Just when y'all thought it was over, it ain't over. I'm just letting my man D. Stanfield in the building. I'm letting him in, the professionals in the house.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, D. Stanfield. What's good, man? You had your coffee? You got your tea? You all ready? You got it?
I'm on my Muki Hawkins swag this week. You know.
Muki Hawkins swag.
Swag.
Late
This is
to
what
the-
your boy Singletary had to say about Zach. You know, basically, it was exciting for him. To be honest, we're both from South Florida. We both the same age. He just stayed a year longer in college. It's really exciting, us in the backfield together. That's like, it's going to be problems for defenses, I feel like, for sure. The way I look at it, and then when you get somebody that's good in the backfield with you, I've been in mostly backfields where I wasn't the only back. So that's going to bring the best out of you and the best out of them. And that's what you want at the end of the day. So that was Motor talking about, him and Zach being in the backfield together.
Now, one more time, real quick. Ryan, you heard him. You heard what Devin Singletary said. They about to tear it up this year. Straight up. A whole lot of shouting is going to go on this year from One Bills Drive. And why we do that? One more time. I see you, Delindra. By the way, shout out to the On Point Network. She is watching right now. Yeah, give me 10 minutes because we need 10 minutes. All right. Boom, boom.
The Bills make me wanna shout. Kick your heels up and throw your hands up and throw your head back and come on.
Prayers going out to Ronald Enix. Put some lights and hearts in the air again. One more time.
Shout it right now, baby. Come on, come on. Come on and shout. Buffalo's happening now. We're on the move now. The Bills are happening now. They're making it happen now. Got the spirit, a lot of spirit, yeah. Got the spirit. Just watch it happen now.
Really? Really?
Did you see that? He said play fly, Eagles fly. Ain't nobody flying no Eagles around here.
Wow. You play too much.
Way too much.
No, I'm talking about Odell Beckham right now. This dude play too much.
Oh, he always clean. That's okay.
You ain't see him and Cam Newton working out. You ain't see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, he they acting up.
He talking about Cam better than Baker.
Hell yeah, Cam better than Baker.
I'm not saying that he's not. I'm just saying, is that what Odell's trying to imply to the Browns organization? In order
I
to
do
get
not
them
know, but shit, that looked damn good together. I tell you what, I don't know what's going on. Listen, Odell's only there for one more year, if not half the season, bro. He won't last in Cleveland.
I don't see how he hasn't been traded already.
He's not going to last in Cleveland.
I don't see how he hasn't been traded already. Only because he's excellent trade bait. I mean, he's superior trade bait, especially in terms of what they need. Oh my God, he's superior trade bait.
Yeah, but you know, they might be setting something up. You gotta wait to see where Cam go first. Then might make his move.
That's a fact. But as much as I hate to say it, I would love to see Odell in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers.
Thank you. Thank you, but I think
the problem is that you would have to give up Preston for that.
Oh yeah, I think Bills Mafia is like we do not want to hear about Odell Beckham.
You'd be stupid not to ask for Preston. You'd be stupid not to ask for Preston. I'd ask for Preston in a second. Well, I'd ask for Preston in the third rounder, and I'd give up Odell.
All right, well,
Green Bay all day, and then Aaron Rodgers and Devontae and Aaron would be lit. And I would be furious in Chicago, but I would love it.
Well, that's only going to be for 2 years because Aaron Rodgers is out of there.
No, it would be no. Aaron Rodgers would have to re-up, and Odell would have to come on a contingency of signing.
He ain't going to re-up, and they got Jordan Love. So you don't take Jordan Love there if you're going to re-up on Rodgers. So
I would re-up Rodgers for 2 years.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on?
But that mean Love going to sit for 4?
Hey, Aaron Rodgers had to sit for 2, close to 3.
True. But in this day and age, those guys ain't sitting that long.
Jordan. As much as I love Jordan Love, man, he needs more work than Josh Allen did. So
yeah.
He raw as hell.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you get those Pat Mahomes comparison because he played a bum team and it made some Pat Mahomes like plays. And that's all they talking about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not talking about he damn near led the league in interceptions. Not talking about that.
They also not talking about his production in big games.
True. You know, they make excuses. Oh, all this guys left and listen. Just deliver the damn football. If you can't deliver the football, you know what I mean? Let's not say, oh, he played with a bunch of freshmen now. And so it was easier for seniors to catch the passes and the freshmen, I don't get it. You know what I mean? I don't get that. You still have to perform. You still have to go out there and make plays for people. And I just don't see it. But somebody like the guy, they drafted him in the first round. You know what I mean? So we have to see.
I wouldn't have drafted Jordan in the first round either, but he's a beast. He's
all right. So we got
raw.
We got
he's
5 minutes.
More raw than ODB.
We got about 5 minutes left on this Bills Mafia show, by the way. Q&A segment right here. Call 716-243-5669. Let us know any questions that you have. You got Muki Hawkins in the building, Devin, the professional Stanfield in the building, and myself. Any other questions you may have, you can call us right here for the last 5 minutes before we go off the show, off the air. Muki, I think you got a question. I feel a question coming up.
I got a question?
Yeah.
Bills Mafia?
Yeah, you got a question for Bills Mafia?
Question for Bills Mafia. What do we do with Levi Wallace?
Oh.
His birthday just passed, by the way. Shout out to him, Levi. You know, happy birthday. I mean, you know. But what do we do with Levi Wallace? Nobody's not talking about that. We got some competition going over there for that number 2. I mean, we do have Josh. Everybody just pretty much penciling him in because the experience. I mean, he's a Pro Bowler. He's thrived in McDermott's system, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's still competition. You still got EJ Gaines, who pretty much had a great year too when played with McDermott his first season. So I mean, do you move EJ Gaines into slot? Do he compete for the big nickel spot, or is it on the outside for that number 2 spot with EJ Gaines, Levi Wallace, and John Snow? What do we do?
Devon.
Now, he started. He's been a starter now.
What they doing with him? I think he's
Trade bait.
yeah. I think he's traded.
Trade bait, but I mean, what value does he have?
We need to find out. I'm
He's a
looking at.
restricted. He has 1 year left on the contract, and he's a restricted free agent. So I mean, who are we going to trade him for?
I mean, you don't sign Josh Norman and expect it.
That's
We
what
got
I
a
want you
caller
to
on
do
the
too.
line, y'all. Caller on the line from Texas. I think I know who this is.
Uh-oh.
Hey, what's going on? This is Marcus the Alphabets. What's up?
I mean, don't nobody want to hear what that trash bag has got to say.
Oh, they got a question while Muki Hawkins is on here. Muki, you're getting a whole lot of love today, as you should.
Yeah, I just got a text from Steve Means,
I'm giving you a
What?
chance to back.
defensive end for the Atlanta Falcons.
What do you say?
He just texted me Q&A. He said, "Why the Bills? Why don't the Bills draft local talent?"
Ooh.
Hey, tell Steve the same reason the UB Bulls don't recruit local talent.
Ooh. Ouch.
Shot.
Uh-oh. Wow.
Shooting?
Marcus, say that again. Mookie ain't hear you.
Muki Hawkins, can you hear me, brother?
Hell to the no. Hell no. To the no. What's up, Marcus? Good morning.
What's going on, bro? You think the Beatles go 6-0 with the Heat? I'm giving you a chance to back out because I'm gonna take that CD Lamb jersey from you if you don't. I'm giving you a chance to back out.
Dude, we not losing no games in the division. I'm sorry. I don't care what nobody say. We ain't. Who we gonna lose to? We supposed to lose to the Jets? Why? We supposed to lose to Miami? Why? We supposed to lose to the Patriots? We're not losing to the Patriots. This is a year that we sweep the Patriots.
You do know that the Dolphins.
I don't think so.
Oh yeah, Devin. Hey Devin, Steve just answered your question with laughing emojis.
Ah!
He just put up
It's Devon, by the way.
yeah, Devon, excuse me, sir.
What's going on, brother?
He said, first of all, they recruited him. He's local. Don Cook, Dominic Cook, Naaman Roosevelt, and James Starks, just to name a few. And those guys won the MAC that year with all those guys you just mentioned. So they do recruit. UB has recruited. As you see, I got my shirt on today.
Hey, did he notice that the all them players that were recruited by UB were Turner Gill prospects?
Yeah, he was one of them. He
And
know
as
who
soon as
recruited.
as soon as Turner Gill left, they went right back to the usual suspects.
Hey, they made America great again. We understand that. Hey, they
So when you take Turner Gill out of that conversation, because Turner Gill obviously comes from an area in Winton, Nebraska, where they value keeping the greatest talent in the local area inside the state. When you leave and you put other coaches in that position, then what happens? And also tell him to make sure he don't restrict it to football either. Go to basketball too.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but see, but hang on, look, man.
That wasn't directed towards you, Marcus.
No,
That was directed. That wasn't directed towards you, Marcus. That was directed towards Steven. Directed towards you, Marcus. I agree with you. Buffalo is going to split a game with New England, and Miami.
is not going to split no game. We is not splitting no game with New England. And Steve just chimed in. He said, my question was about the Bills. I answered about UB with facts. You know what I mean?
Okay, that's fair.
Where's his facts? Okay, Steve, let me give you your facts for why the Bills don't draft local
That's
guys.
fair, Steve. That's fair.
The Bills don't draft local guys because they don't want to deal with what comes with drafting a local guy. All right.
Just like most other teams.
Yeah, just when drafting a local guy, they got to worry about the dangers that involve in drafting a local guy. Like, okay, you got a local guy here. Is he going to come to work on time because he was out with his buddies, his childhood friends, and all that stuff comes along with that distraction of being a local player, you know what I mean, playing for the hometown team. Now, I would have loved for them to draft you. I would have loved for them to draft
Yeah,
Corey.
me too.
Yes, I would have loved for them to draft.
Me too.
But it didn't happen. But it don't mean that they won't bring you back as a free agent. They did that to Corey and see how it worked out for him.
That's facts.
But you know,
And my team got Corey first. Chicago, the
yeah,
Bears.
and they shitted on him then. And then
Yeah.
but he was in a contract situation when you had.
Hey, he saw the Super Bowl with us though.
You know, they was getting what, 20 million apiece. They had big contracts, so you know, we understand the business part of that. But yes, Steve, to answer your question, you know, they normally don't do that for those reasons alone. Corey, I was shocked for them to bring in Corey, but I'm quite sure they did their research on that. And you know, when your time comes, they'll do that to you as well.
But why you down here in Atlanta? Come holler at your boy, Steve.
So by the way, Muki in a nutshell just said it's too much to bear, literally, like watching Mitchell Trubisky try to play quarterback. All right. Moving on, Mr. Bears fan. I swear you try to big up them Bears.
We got my man Marcus on her talk about how I don't know how y'all just think we're gonna lose it. Why we got to split a game against the Patriots?
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I don't think it has nothing to do with talent. It has everything to do with the curse. It's mental. You know we have letdown games. Every season we have letdown games. Every season. I just happen to think it's gonna be one of them.
Right. They should have took Khalil Mack. I thought they was gonna take Khalil Mack too. He's still chiming in, and he's like, when they made the trade, I thought they was gonna take Khalil, but they didn't. They took Sammy, who his birthday is today. Today's Sammy Watkins' birthday, and the Bills took him. They should have took Khalil Mack, but they didn't take him.
Yo, that's a win on both talent wise and on ticket sales.
Yeah, they didn't do that. I'm super confused about it too. If I was the GM, hey man, I'll be plucking Bills players left and right because I know what we do here. I know what type of football we bring to the table. I know our love, our passion for it, and I wouldn't have a problem drafting guys because I did my research to make sure that, you know, it's okay. It's all right. He got a few wild cousins, but you know, that's everybody has a few wild cousins in their family. So bring them in.
Yo, Steve, I think also when you talk about bringing top tier talent, drafting top tier talent that's from the city, you worry about the entourage being around. The entourage is also is oftentimes a deterrent. When it comes to remaining focused in the locker room. This is just from what I hear, not necessarily. I mean, obviously, I've not played in a professional football locker room, but that's often a concern with regard to people that I talk to. So, hey.
Yeah, it's just kind of tough. You know, you wish it could be different, but it's just tough. And UB is signing local product right now this year, man. They got a handful of talent right here from the town that they're offering. So, you know, things are looking good. You know what I mean? UB they won the MAC last year. All right, you know, we got JP coming back. You know, my man Jared Patterson's coming back next year.
This is the fourth time we won the MAC in the last decade, right? It's the fourth time we won the MAC. Am I not mistaken?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, first time we ever won the bowl game.
I got a question.
Yeah.
Muki, let everybody know who you was talking to again.
I was just talking to Buffalo native and Super Bowl champion, now Atlanta Falcon, Steven Means.
All right.
Defensive end, man, coming off that edge, baby. That's what we need. I wish we could get Steve coming off that edge. We want to see somebody that's relentless coming off that edge, a beast coming off that edge.
It ain't like we don't need it right now.
Steve Means. I mean, hey, with Steve Means, and it was Khalil Mack over there at UB wreaking havoc, man. Wreaking havoc. I thought Steve was going to go to Chicago just to link up with Khalil. But, hey, you know what I mean? Hey, you know, it still might can go down. But, man, my man is relentless over there off that edge. Y'all could use him up there in Chicago, too.
Hey, man, listen, as soon as Quinn is up out of there, because I think that's a project that'll be ending soon.
Another damn Quinn. Another Quinn.
Hey.
Another damn Quinn.
So let me ask.
Wait, what was that, Marcus?
You don't think Queen is like maybe a 1 year rent or 1 or 2 year rent?
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Me and Marcus agree on that. Yep, that's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, his name's his number.
He did this thing for us last year. He gave us 11.5 sacks last year.
Yeah, we just hoping that he give us a moderate same amount of production, and then maybe Steve is the answer.
If you get 8, 9 sacks from him, I think that'll really make life easier. That would make life real easy on Khalil Mack. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So that's what, 1 or 2 year leads. Come in there, give me 8 or 9 sacks every year. We'll be all right.
Gerard said Buffalo is getting better slowly with recruiting. I think both Mack brothers made great strides for them in terms of putting newer kids into Buffalo. So with that being said,
tell Gerard that they have slept on local talent for a long time, and Steve's right. They are starting to make strides towards the local talent.
But let me say this.
Under Turner Gill.
But let me say this. UB is one of the hardest schools to get in.
Yes, it is.
That's where our kids kind of fall by the wayside. When you look at a guy like Steve Means was a straight A student coming out of Grover, Cleveland.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Right. So, that's monumental right there, baby. From go to a Buffalo public school to get to qualify to go to UB academically. It's an academic school first. So, when you look at that, it's kind of tough. And that's where our kids, they don't, the requirements and the SAT score to get in, that thing is kind of tough to get in at UB as well. So
that's why a lot of the college, when they do recruit in the city, they go to the private schools like the Canisius and the St. Joe's, because they know that the academic standards already put you in a place where you have to be in order to get into like the UBs. I also went to UB for a couple years, man. So I definitely understand the rigors of going to that school. And then even when you get to the school at University of Buffalo, if you have the school is just a tough school anyway, period. It's not a cakewalk educationally at all. So,
right. And, graduating out of UB, that's volumes, man. But you can play football and make it work too. That's even more better. So for sure. Our guys made it. Steve said that's good talk, guys. It's good talk. So we got NFL tuning in.
Hey, Steve, I'm in the A, man. We over here at the Rise at the Rise Venture Suite, the field level suite. So if you need to holler at me after the game, before the game, come holler at me.
By the way, it would be awesome to get him on our show. Be awesome. Be awesome to get him on the show. With that being said,
tell Steve to tell Quadri I said what up to.
Time to call him.
With that being said, the network has told me that they got to put this up on the On Point Network. Make sure y'all continue to support. All right, go get the On Point Network, download it. It's free. Download it so you can watch all the shows. All right. Muki Hawkins in the building. Devin, the professional Stanfield.
Let's get this fire started. Sports became a passion. Combo bring it to life, highlighting all the action. Opinions could explode like a chemical reaction. If we started from the bottom, now rise up the newest caption. Man, it's known that every team and every person got a nemesis. But this